PowerKast Progression. Radio with power.
What is going on, everybody? Radio with Power, the PowerKast Progression, is back hitting your earlobes. Today, I'm going solo, you guys. Charles is here, Charles Xstream, for your wrestling reviews. That's right. Wrestling pay-per-view review time. Today, we're taking a look at Xstream Championship Wrestling, ECW, 1998. Heat Wave, baby. Heat Wave 98. We're coming, they came from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, this was at. Yes. Dayton, Ohio. I just watched the entire pay-per-view. Damn, pretty impressive for ECW standards. I know, as you might know, ECW was low budget back in the day. I mean, they weren't exactly WCW. They didn't have the money of the WWE/F. Paul Heyman just did exactly what he wanted to do with it. Hardcore, extreme, blood and guts, in your face, cussing, vulgar, all. That's kind of why I loved ECW, honestly, because the first time I discovered ECW, I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, I like the in your face, violent, vulgar. When I was a kid, I loved that shit, so I don't understand this whole, I don't like blood anymore, I don't like this. You know, I love the blood, I love the violence of wrestling. I mean, to me, that's a part of the sport. But anyways, let's get to this. You can watch ECW Heatwave on the WWE Network on Peacock, I believe. I know the network's going under soon, I don't know what that's about. I know next year you might not be able to view old school wrestling anymore. That's bullshit. I hope they fix that. I hope they bring it all to Netflix, hopefully, because the only way to watch these pay-per-views in its entirety would be pirating it, which I don't promote piracy here, but that would be the only way you would do it, you know, so, or old VHS tapes, which probably cost a lot of money. We're finding old DVDs, official ECW DVDs, which probably are pricey. But ECW's back at you. According to this article, this is all on Google here, Heatwave 98 is often regarded as one of the best shows ECW ever put on, with it featuring a bunch of well-built issues and some quality wrestling for a good measure. This comes from blogofdoom.com. It is a quick, they go over the matches. I'm not going to read the entire thing because I just watched it, but we're going to go over what I just witnessed here. So, the show intro, tonight's tagline, tonight the rebels take over as the counterculture revolution gets hotter. So, you know, you got the ECW, you know, the classic ECW theme, opening, awesome. Very 90s, very, like, in-your-face, hardcore grunge look of the ECW. You know, we don't get that anymore with modern wrestling, no. Like, you will never see a show like this again on television, probably, ever. But we got the opening match, just incredible, with Jason, Chastity, and Nicole Bass versus Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn, baby. Growing up, I did like Just Incredible. I know he was part of the Clique, you know, part of the moving crew on the down low. And Jerry Lynn was dope in ECW. I always thought he was very talented. To me, Jerry Lynn is up there with like a Kurt Angle, with a Chris Benoit, with Eddie Guerrero as far as talent goes, putting on like clinic matches in the ring, like 5-star matches. Especially his feud with RVD back then. Damn. Shit was dope, dude. But Credible and Lynn had been wrestling one another in a series of a match over the summer, with this match designed to be blow off. For now, the match has been off good quality, and it had help in elevating Jerry Lynn from generic undercard to considered in-ring talent. Credible was kind of the new Raven here in that he had a gang of lackeys help him win matches. You know, like all that good old stuff. Here, both men go heck for the leather and good action with lots of nice counters. Some impressive high spots from Lynn, including a big dive out to the floor in the early going. Douglas is actually quite a good color commentator. Although Francine doesn't say a lot, Lynn shines a bit in the early going, but Credible gets a very slick, diverse DDT counter to take over a bit, while both Joey and Douglas put him over on commentary. So yes, we have Joey Styles on commentary tonight, and Douglas. You can definitely tell from watching this they had plans for Credible going forward, and to his credit, his performance has been very good in this match so far, while Lynn has entered his usual strong effort. Lynn sells well in the heat, and they throw in some chairs-based spots to show any possible new viewers that such a thing is allowed in ECW. Yeah, back then, there was no fucking rules in ECW. There really wasn't. You can definitely tell that they had quite a few matches prior to this one, because they had a lot of good chemistry here. Lynn makes the occasional attempt at comeback, but Credible is always able to cut him off again. Because it's ECW, we get a wild high spot here in the opener where Lynn gives Credible a Rana off the top rope through a table at the ringside. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty, like, honestly, like, a opening match here. This was dope. Like, there was some crazy spots for, like, an opening match. I was like, holy shit. Like, this could have been main event, dude. Like, you're talking a pile driver off the top rope. It looked like he damn near killed Lynn. Like, it looked like it. I know in wrestling it's a sell, but damn. There's something about ECW where the moves just look more real. It feels more real. You can tell they're going way more rough, which I like, because I just missed the entertainment of that as a fan watching it. It's like, damn, I can actually see pile drivers. I can actually see headshots with chairs. Modern wrestling, you ain't going to see that. So, you want to see some real shit? Of course it's wrestling. It's rehearsed. But damn, they used to go rough as fuck back then. Just Incredible did go over. He hit him with the pile driver at the end off the top rope. Rating. I mean, my rating personally, as an opening match, I give this like an 8.5 at least. 8.5, something like that. 8.5 at least. Like, pretty fucking good, man. I enjoyed this opening match. Very entertaining, pretty good. And, yeah. And I do believe back then, Just Incredible, I think he used to come out with Snap Your Finger, Snap Your Neck by Prong. Man, I miss those, like, hard rock theme songs back in the day. And we got match 2 here. Lance Storm versus Chris Cadino with Tammy Lynn Sitch. Alright, so Lance Storm versus Chris Cadino. The crowd isn't really as hot for this one as they were for the opener. No, they weren't. But the wrestling on display is good, and Storm shows off some good intensity as he was continuing to develop more of a heel persona. Cadino has protective headgear on due to almost losing his ear at one stage in a match with RVD and Sabu, so Storm takes it off in the early going. The problem with this one, I think, is that the crowd kind of wants to cheer for Cadino and boo Storm, but they work in a bit back and forth, and neither guy really fills the role of a traditional babyface. Had they had Cadino work this as a typical babyface while Storm worked it as straight up heel. Lance Storm versus Chris Candido. It was pretty good, in my opinion. Some of the moves and the spots here are great, though, especially when Storm suplexes Candido to the floor, throws him in front row, and then follows with a big springboard plancha. That looked awesome, and the crowd loved it. The hot moves continue back inside, while Storm getting a spinning wheel kick from the top rope for 2, while Candido counters a crossbody from the top into a power slam for 2 of his own. Outside of a few of them, though, the crowd really isn't biting. Tammy gives Candido some white powder to throw in Storm's face. Yeah, that was actually pretty dope. But Storm ends up kicking it into Candido's face. Instead leads to Candido clocking the ref while blinded. Lance heads up for the top for something, but Tammy grabs his bum. Yeah, she started rubbing his ass for the distraction and then shoves him forward, so then he crotches himself on the top rope. Tammy's dress ends up getting ripped because ECW, but she manages to successfully cover up her flowery baps while Candido finishes off Storm with a power bomb off the top. Yeah, power bomb off the top rope. Dangerous moves, but ECW, they don't give a shit. And I love it. Winner, Chris Candido. I'm going to give this match 7.5. About a 7.5. Not as good as the first match, but there was some crazy shit, too. What we got here? We get footage from earlier where New Jack's promo is interrupted by Jack Victory, High Spot, and the Dudley Boys who leave him lying. This means that Jack versus Jack match has now been canceled, although I'm sure we'll see New Jack again tonight. For some reason, I was having audio issues during these segment promos. There was for some reason there was no audio. I don't know why. So I didn't get to hear what was going on during this time. Rob Van Dam, Sabu, and Bill Alfonso have a promo backstage. Hayabusa and Bless You with their opponents tonight. RVD is his usually cocky self, and Sabu is unhappy about it as usual. So we had some backstage hype shit. Match 3, Mike Awesome, complete with music that would be out of place in the Dynasty Warriors game, as this article says, versus Tanaka. Awesome combined 80s look and promos with modern day wrestling style, making him somewhat compelling, if also rather annoying prospect, while Tanaka is probably best overall in-ring performer ECW ever booked from this era of the promotion. These two had a big feud in Japan where Awesome usually won, but Tanaka is usually balanced here. This match had some incredible action in it, and the crowd absolutely loved it. Of course, the big downside with it is filled with vicious, unprotected chair shots to the head. I don't care, I enjoy it. Okay, back then we enjoyed it. I know today you can't do that in WWE, and back in the 90s we didn't give a shit, okay? I know it's dangerous, blah, 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 but it was a part of the sport. And it always amazes me that Tanaka functions as well as he does these days, considering all the punishment he took from Awesome in the 90s. In the early stages, it's mostly both guys trading strikes, power moves, with Awesome showing off his impressive athletic abilities with moves like springboard, shoulder tackles, and his big Undertaker WrestleMania dive. Yeah, that shit's dope, dude. Mike Awesome was taking these... You guys remember WrestleMania, I believe it was 26? Where Taker did that big dive to Shawn Michaels and hit the cameraman? Yeah, Mike Awesome always did that kind of shit, which I really like. Mike Awesome's move style, his physique. He's got this long body, but he's very agile. He's always jumping around and bending certain ways and shit like that. I don't know, but Mike Awesome's dope, dude. He was it damn near looked like he could have broke his skull open. Honestly, a lot of these ECW matches, there's no mats. There's no mats like the WWE. or WCW, which I mean, it's awesome as to me as a fan watching it because it's like, dude, these guys could really crack their skull open like as entertainment. But realistically, I think you should at least have mats around the ring. I get it, ECW didn't give a fuck, but damn, like someone can really like die out there if they actually. It's like basically getting your skull cracked on cement if they really hit their head. But they didn't give a fuck back then. I mean, this is Extreme Championship Wrestling, you know. But yeah, there were some crazy spots. Tanaka gets some cool spots of his own, including one of my favorites where he grabbed a chair, then sprints down the ramp to hit Awesome with it. That was pretty cool. He ran with the chair, hit him over the head. That's a big reaction from the crowd, and then eventually chair shots didn't even look that stiff either, which I agree, some of the chair shots did not look that stiff. It was just kind of like, but just goes to show you that you don't have to kill one another to get the time over if you know what you're doing. We get the Star Wars style chair duel, boom, boom, boom. Tanaka wins it, but then gets back body dropped into the crowd where Awesome follows another big dive, huge crowd reaction. Okay, so amazingly we get some more match to go after that as Awesome kicks out of the resulting pin of the two, thus getting him over with the crowd regardless of whether he wins or loses, which again is pretty smart booking, although I'm not entirely thrilled with how they got there. Awesome gets another big kick out of a roaring elbow, but Tanaka decides he cannot sanction this buffoonery anymore and gives Awesome a tornado DDT on some chairs for the blessed 3 count. Yeah, like, dude, he literally, like, did this, like, tornado DDT on a bunch of fucking steel chairs. And once again, something about ECW, they did not give a fuck. It literally looks like he is fucking taking his head and slamming it as hard as they can into all these steel chairs. I don't know how these guys took this kind of punishment back then. It was like, go ahead on Peacock, WWE Network, and watch this shit. ECW was hard fucking core. I know there's deathmatch wrestling nowadays where they do like the blood and the thumbtacks and the light tubes, which that shit's crazy too. But damn, like, the chair shots back then, just grab a motherfucker's head and slam it all the way in like 10 chairs in the ring. Look like I don't know, man. Y'all about to kill each other out here. But that's why I love 90s wrestling. It was fucking crazy back then. It sucks if they ever got concussions. It does suck, but man, watching it as a fan, we didn't give a shit. Tanaka wins this match, though. Fucking dope match. Like, I give this, like, probably a 10 out of 10. Like, this was fucking dope. Yeah. So, Tanaka celebrates following that, while the referee and medic check on Awesome knows what day of the week it is. Tanaka might actually have a Wolverine-like factor, healing factor, to be honest. And then next we got Taz cuts a promo on Badman Bigelow, but Shane Douglas isn't impressed. And you know what? Actually, I do remember Shane Douglas opening the show. I don't know why this article didn't say that, but he did open the show with some vulgar words. But the Dudley Boys have a backstage promo following that, where they don't believe anyone can save Tommy Dreamer tonight. Bubba Ray, very good in that segment. Good intensity. Yeah, I agree. Bubba Ray was just bitching and going kind of wild in that promo. So next we have match 4, the ECW Tag Team titles. Rob Van Dam, RVD, Sabu, Bill Alfonso versus, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Shinkaki and Hayabusa. So, according to Paul Heyman, they originally tried to get Misawa and Kenta for this show, but it fell through. So he brought in Shinkaki cannot fucking pronounce that fucking name tonight. And Hayabusa, instead, they recently been getting some bookings in All Japan and had some good matches while working with the usual top Japan crew. RVD and Hayabusa try to do a wrestling sequence to start us out, and it doesn't appear like they are on the same page. With a couple of planned spots between them going. Shinzaki comes in and simplifies things with strikes in his crane rope walk, and that he proves to be a good idea as his stuff looks tight and then the crowd digs it. I dug that in WWF as Hakushi, and I've liked him in this so far too. This is what just the article saying. Sabu and Hayabusa eventually have the Derby Della baggy pants with one another, and let's be honest, that's what most of us were intrigued to see back in the day. It's just kind of a match, and not very a good one at that. Yeah, like honestly, like I wasn't really feeling this tag team match. Like RVD and Sabu are great, you know. So was Hayabusa. But I'm like, this match was just like not really like drawing me really in. And this is coming from a big RVD fan. Like I'm a big Sabu fan. Always loved them, but I'm like, the only spot I kind of remember. I mean, there was some good moves. Like damn, that you know, the sound of the ECW ring is very loud. Like when they do a move on that mat, you can hear it boom. Like it actually sounds really good. But the best spot I remember was the end where Sabu and RVD, I believe it was Hayabusa, they put him through two tables. RVD was on one side, Sabu was on the other, and then double team moved through the table. That was devastating. But other than that, I'm like, this match was like, and then you got Bill Alfonso blowing the whistle, which was really annoying. I'm not going to lie, because I had my speaker full blast while watching this, and it was kind of annoying. But, yeah, it was okay. It was alright. I would rate this match maybe like a 6.5. Winners, RVD and Sabu. And next we got a video package to hype up Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow match. Bigelow defeated Taz at Living Dangerously 98, putting him through a ring. Yeah, he put the infamous when he put him through the ring. If you guys never seen that clip, it's a classic from ECW. Since then, Taz has created his own new title belt called the FTW belt, which you know as today the Fuck the World title, which is now in AEW, which recently I heard they retired it, which it was awesome in ECW, but nowadays it's like, it's just a gimmick belt, but it's funny, this article says it stands for Fudge the World. And now he's claiming that it means more than Douglas's own ECW belts. So this was around the time Fuck the World came out, yo. Which is fucking classic, you know what I mean? So we got match 5, False Count Anywhere. The champion Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Damn, this match was insane, yo. Like, it's not like the greatest match I've ever seen or anything, but there was like, just the crowd was like going nuts. Bam Bam Bigelow looked pissed off when he came out there. Taz looked pissed. And, you know, that's what's missing in today's modern wrestling, honestly, is like guys looking so pissed off. You can feel their energy. You can feel their attitudes. These guys generally look like they're about to fucking destroy each other. And they did. The crowd, they were fighting in the crowd. Chairs, ECW, 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 like fucking riots everywhere. They're beating the shit out of each other with steel chairs. And, yeah, it was just a straight out brawl. Like, even Taz picked up Bam Bam Bigelow and gave him I think it was a fall away slam. And it looked like Bam Bam Bigelow was so fucking big, it looked like he was about to break the fucking ring. Like, damn, how did fucking short ass Taz pick that big ass man up? Holy shit. But this was a fucking great brawl match. Just great. Like, You're talking, dude, Taz grabs him. Pretty sure it was, I went for the Taz mission. Or belly to belly suplex. And they go through the fucking stage, the ramp, through the motherfucker, to the concrete. Joey Styles is like, oh my god! Are they dead? Pretty sure either Shane Douglas said that or Joey Styles. They're on the concrete. You couldn't even see where they were at. So, like, everything about this just looked so legit. Like, wrestling back then actually felt like a real fight. And I know it's a part of the show, but damn, they were so good at what they did back then to make this shit believable. Even me watching it all these years later, I was intrigued. I was focused the entire match. Like, this is awesome. So, eventually Taz gets up, gets out of that hole in the ring, or in the entranceway. Bam Bam Bigelow gets out of that shit. Taz puts him in the Taz mission, I believe, and makes him tap out. Fucking, honestly, like I said, it's not the greatest match I've ever seen or anything. But as far as, like, them brawling it out, believability, beating the shit out of each other, oh my god moments, the hype of this match, like Bam Bam Bigelow's attitude, Taz's attitude, that factor, I would give this a fucking 10. I would give this match a 10. Like, it wasn't like a straight wrestling match, but as like a brawler, I would give this like a fucking 10. Fucking insane, dude. Like, you want to show somebody what ECW is about? The crowd, the hype, the attitude, the violence. I would say this is a good match to show a newcomer that's trying to figure out what ECW is about. You know, this would be a good match to show. Really. And I don't even think there was blood. Honestly, I don't even think there was blood or anything. But like the atmosphere of the match, the anger, the holy shit moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just that 10 to me. Okay. Winner, still champion, FTW, Taz. Douglas has a freak out following that and destroys a monitor. Yeah, Shane Douglas freaked out and destroyed a monitor. Wild, crazy moment there. I love Shane Douglas, so he was dope. And now we have the main event. Dudleyville Street Fight. We get a super slow motion of the Dudley Boys hitting Beulah with the 3D like it's a Zaprata film, or whatever that says, or something. Joey cuts off an angry promo at the Dudley Boys, saying he hates the Dudley Boys. They make him sick to his stomach. His goddamn stomach, that's what he says. It's just crazy how different wrestling was back then. Nowadays, you wouldn't be able to say goddamn on cable. I think that's banned too. But we got the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, and Big Dick Dudley. Yeah, there was actually more than just Bubba Ray, Devon, and Spike. Yeah, there was Big Dick Dudley back then. Bet you WWE fans might not know about that. Well, I'm trying to educate you here on ECW. And we got Sign Guy Dudley, another Dudley you might not have known about, and Jeff Jones versus Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, and Little Spike Dudley. So they were like feuding with Spike Dudley here, I believe, at the time. Seems like a pretty dope feud. The Dudley Boys come out. They look pissed off. They're talking trash to the crowd. Bubba Ray says, I fucking hate all of you. Straight out roasting the ECW crowd. Like, Bubba Ray looks pissed off. He looks mad. Like, bring it on, bitch. He even said, I challenge anybody in the WWF. I challenge anybody in WCW. Straight out dissing WWF, dissing WCW, acting like he is the shit. Ain't nobody can top the Dudley Boys in this era. This, that, and the third. Damn. So, honestly, like, I'm going to give the edge to the Dudley Boys here. I'm thinking Man, I love the Sandman. I love Tommy Dreamer and Spike, but ooh, Dudley Boys in this era were like fucking top notch, dude. This would be the Dudley Boys versus the three main baby faces that hate them. Dreamer hates them for what they did to Beulah. Sandman hates them because they broke his neck. And Spike hates them because they are his abusive half-brothers who betrayed him back in 97. Okay, Bubba, of course, insults the crowd prior to the match, which I've already explained that. They actually tease that. Oh, no, we're going to skip that. Okay, I'm not even going to read this. I'm just going to tell you straight out. They beat the living piss hell out of each other this entire match. You're talking ladders. There's tables, steel chairs, all ECW to the max. Like the ladders in ECW, they didn't like have like WWE. You can tell it's like a pre-made ladder. No, in ECW, when they're using ladders in this match, Spike Dudley's climbing on the very tippy top and jumping to the crowd, which is crazy ECW moments. These are real ladders. You can tell they're real. It even has the paint fucking stand thing on the top of the ladder. They're aluminum ladders, but you can tell these are like ladders they bought at like Home Depot or something. Like they're getting their back slammed on it. There's a part where Bubba Ray literally lands his back on the ladder. Like you can't really train or practice this kind of shit. You can't. Like some of the shit, I'm like, how are they walking? Like, even in WWE, I've seen some of these ladder spots where they get slammed back first, and it's like, damn. Like, I can't even believe the amount of pain. I mean, I used to wrestle back in the day. I get it. I've taken stop signs to my skull. I've taken steel chairs. I've taken some lot of... But, like, I don't think I've ever got slammed back first on a real aluminum ladder. I don't know. I don't know how they land on that shit and not rupture their spine or something. But insane fucking match. Sandman came out there busting beers off of his fucking skull. Blood already bleeding. Smoking the cigs. I didn't think he was smoking a joint when he did his entrance. Like, Bubba Ray and the Dudleys beat the fuck out of them too. Pretty fucking entertaining match. If I had to rate it, honestly, as a main event, probably like a 9. Probably like at least a 9. But it was really, really fucking entertaining. Like, the winners, Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike, which surprisingly they won. I thought the Dudley Boys were gonna win this shit. But it sounds like at the end here, Dreamer catches Bubba with a DDT onto the ladder. Yeah, he literally DDT'd him skull first on the ladder. It looked real too. I'm pretty sure it was real. And that's enough for the 3 count. So, see, here's another thing that I like about ECW. There is no, like, perfect finish. Like, with the WWE/F, even a lot of WCW, there's, like, the finisher. Goldberg does the spear, wins the match. ECW wasn't like that. Like, a dude could win from a random DDT, and you wouldn't even see it coming. Like, if the move looked devastating enough, the match could end. And it wasn't like a planned finisher. Like, obviously it was planned, pre-planned in the back, how it was going to go, the finish. I'm saying there was no, like, I mean, yeah, RVD had his 5-star frog splash, of course, that's a finisher. But RVD, in, like, ECW, I noticed you could just win with a random suplex through a table and just 1, 2, 3, it's over. You know, where in WWE... Oh my god, sweet chin music, bam. Oh, it's over. Like, you already know it's going to be over because he hit the sweet chin music. Get what I'm saying? In ECW, it could end with any fucking random move if it looked devastating enough. Which, to me, that's more realistic, honestly. Like, if it looked like you just ruptured the guy's skull with a chair and it ends, I think that's actually pretty dope. I think that's better than your typical cartoony finisher... Hulk Hogan leg dropping, it's over, you know, that's kind of dated. ECW was trying to be totally different with that shit. Pretty dope main event. And then at the end, you know, pretty sure Tommy Dreamer grabbed the mic and was like, ECW, and then New Jack comes out. Yeah, New Jack comes out and hits motherfuckers with guitars at the end of this match. You hear the Ice Cube song. Well, on the WWE Network, you ain't gonna hear the Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Natural Born Killers. You probably ain't gonna hear that because they probably edited it out, which I get for copyright. But it was fucking crazy ending. The crowd's going ECW. Fucking crazy main event, dude. Dude, this is one of the top ECW pay-per-views, honestly. Like, I don't know if it's my favorite ECW pay-per-view, my favorite event that ECW put out, but overall, I'm going to give this pay-per-view, for ECW standards, with their low budget and everything, and straight wrestling, I'm going to give this pay-per-view an 8.5. 8.5. And I know some people might disagree. No, this is a 10. It was pretty good, but it's just not my favorite or anything, but it was pretty fucking entertaining, I'll tell you that. Damn, it was true ECW. Great violence, great wrestling. There was a few stinkers, I think, but I'd say this is about 8.5 for me, personally. ECW Heatwave 1998 from Dayton, Ohio, baby. And that is it for tonight on the PowerKast Progression Radio with Power pay-per-view reviews. Maybe next time Mark will join me and we'll review some WWF, classic WWF, Attitude Era, New Generation. We can do 80s, ECW, WCW, TNA. What pay-per-view do you guys want us to review next? Let us know in the comment section. If you are viewing on Spotify, maybe go to YouTube, search up the PowerKast Progression ECW Heatwave review. Leave us a comment on YouTube, and we can review more pay-per-views because we're planning on doing that right here on the PowerKast Progression. Brought to you by XD Sports and Video Game XD. Alright, I'm Charles Xstream. Keep it extreme. Peace.
The PowerKast Progression Radio with Power.